Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is Monday, and once again I have to apologize. I've been for a couple of weeks now, I haven't made any videos at all. For 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a row, I haven't made any videos. I've been swamped with work. Just completely swamped with work. And I haven't had time to concentrate on making videos. And that's all I really want to do is make videos. But I've been swamped with work. I've been unable to make videos. So finally, now I'm making a video. And I've had a very, very rough couple of weeks. As you know, the last time I spoke with you, I told you about the situation with one of my professors. Calling me rude and then being rude to me. And this time, another professor, a different professor, thought I was giving him a dirty look, and he said so in class, in front of the whole class. He said, look at her, look, she's giving me, not Sarah, is giving me a dirty look. And then he turned around, sort of, and then he turned back and said, I can never read her. And so I was very embarrassed. So I wrote to him privately and explained to him about flat effect and explained that I just can't help staring. I'm just like this most of the time, especially when I'm concentrating really hard and I just watch the professor at the front of the room without any emotion or expression on my face. I'm not smiling, I'm not frowning, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like that. And I didn't mean to give him a look. I just can't help the way my face looks. But I explained that I have flat effect, and that my doctor says I have flat effect, and that it's a medical condition caused by a side effect of my medication. I can't help it. And he apologized to me. And then I decided, well, maybe I can patch things up with this professor, right? Maybe I could patch things up with him. Maybe I can show I'm a good guy, a good guy, and a good gal, I guess, a good gal, and patch things up with him and show him that there's no hard feelings. So I'll admit I was kind of lonely because Judy and I have hit the rocks. So I wrote to him maybe on a Saturday evening, and I told him that I appreciated what he taught us in class the other day, and I asked him a few questions about the situation. I asked him a few questions related to class, and that was it. I just said, any insights you have, I really appreciate it. Well, the next day, I think it was Sunday, he wrote me back and said, I am on spring break, and I am in Utah, and I will answer you when I get back. And he sounded kind of surly. So I said to him, I'm sorry. I didn't think you would read this until you got back. Have a great trip. And that was it. I didn't say anything else. But he was surly with me. So that was one bad thing. That kind of ruined my day. Then that something else happened to ruin my next day. I decided to write to Judy to see if I could patch things up with her. So after she made the remarks to me about about her schizophrenic friends and the pod people she assumed they were schizophrenics. First of all, she assumed they were schizophrenics because they believed in pod people. And then she assumed that because she went through their mail, which is a crime, by the way, and I pointed this out to her that it's a crime. When she went through their mail, she assumed, once again, that they thought she was a pod person and that's why they moved away. And then she told me the rest of the story that they had forged a check. And the last thing she heard, they tried to make a prison escape, and they got caught and sent back to prison. And she said, I don't want this to happen to you. That was her whole story. And of course, that would have to happen to me because she assumed they were schizophrenic. She assumed that they thought she was a pod person. She assumed they forged the check because of their experience with her. And then she assumed that because they were schizophrenics, that all schizophrenics forged checks, and therefore I was going to forge a check and it was going to happen to me. That was her logic. I don't know what kind of logic that is. She said that she was only thinking of my safety by telling me that story. I'm not buying it. So I said to her, after not speaking with her for about 2 weeks, I finally wrote her and said, Judy, you need help. And why don't you take some sensitivity training toward people with mental health issues? And I gave her some links. I sent her some links and said, why don't you go in for sensitivity training? Please get some help. Well, she reacted very negatively to this. She said, I actually have no prejudice at all whatsoever, or discrimination or prejudice whatsoever toward any mentally ill person, or toward any person for that matter. She's just so perfect, right? And then she went on and I don't remember what she said, but she was saying that I was the one that needed help, and that she was only thinking of my safety. And obviously, since there was nothing she could say that wouldn't offend me, she couldn't be honest with me anymore, and that she couldn't give me advice, and that she would never ever give me advice ever again. And she went on and on and on. So, and it was several paragraphs. It was a big, long thing. So then I wrote her back, and I was not I took off the kid gloves, basically. And I told her, this is what you said, and this is why it was offensive. And she wrote me back and said, something you obviously do not know is that you do not know is that I know I hurt you, and that I had no intention of hurting you. But you don't know that, see. And then she went on, she wrote another big long thing telling me how she wasn't going to give me advice anymore, and how she wasn't going to be honest with me anymore, and all the things she wanted me to do, the behaviors she expected from me. And I wrote her back, and then I wrote her back, and then she wrote me saying, I refuse to get into an argument with you. And I wrote her back and said, that's because you know you're in the wrong. And she wrote me back and said, she said, because I said, you know you're in the wrong, she said, if this is an attempt to get me to goad me into another argument, it will fail. And then she wrote me another big long paragraph, and she gave me a list. This time she gave me a list, and she numbered them 1, 2, and 3 of all the things she expected of me, if I was to continue our friendship, which I don't even think we have a friendship anymore. She had a list 1, 2, 3 of the behaviors she expected from me if I wanted to continue the friendship, and also telling me once again, that she would not give me any more advice and that she wouldn't be honest with me from now on because she wasn't sure what would set me off or get me angry, and on and on and on and on and on. Okay. I saw this very first thing, was the very first thing I saw, first thing in the morning. I turned on my phone and I was looking for something else, and the very first thing I saw was this message from Judy. I reacted immediately. I wrote her back. I said, "Go away. Go away." And I told her, "I do not have time for someone as negative and insulting as you." And I told her, "You can bark up a tree." And then later on, I was sort of brooding about this because I was in a really negative mood, all right? She put me in a bad mood first thing in the morning, so I was brooding about this. And I looked up something about relationships that were negative, and there was a site, it was a web page about unconditional love. And they said, here's how you know that you're in a conditional relationship. This is how you know you're in a conditional relationship, and there was a list of things. And one of the things that is a sign of a conditional relationship is when people put conditions on your friendship. In other words, when they go 1, 2, 3, and they have a list of things that you have to do to be their friend. That is a conditional relationship. And I realized immediately this was the relationship I had with Judy. I was using her in a way, not only for companionship and for hard times, but also for intellectual stimulation. So I was basically using her. I got something out of it. And she was using me to have someone that she could control. Somebody that she could give advice to every day. Somebody she could control every day. Somebody she could micromanage every day. She basically likes to be a micromanager. That's why she became a teacher, because she wants to micromanage little kids. And they put her in a management position in her old job, and she used to give 3-hour-long speeches at meetings. There would be meeting times, and she would give 3-hour-long speeches. So this is I'm done with Judy now. She can reflect for a while on what she did wrong. I'm not going to answer her again, and if I see another message from her, I will delete her. And I know Judy never watches my videos, so she can access my videos if she wants to, but she chooses not to. She never saved the link. She never saved the link, and she never subscribed to me, so she can't see this video. But if you're ever watching, Judy, just know that it's all on you, because I did my best to get you help, and my best wasn't good enough, so it's over. And in addition to all this, I just discovered that my old therapist sexually molested a vulnerable adult. She said it was consensual sex, but she used her position as his therapist to lure him into sex with her. And my mom thinks that she did this. So, and I didn't believe it at first. I wanted to take her side. Okay, I wanted to take her side because she's a woman, and I believed that he had been sexually attracted to her and came on to her, and that when she rejected him, he made stuff up about her and made her lose her practice. That's what I thought. But it turned out he had audio recordings of their sessions. He had implanted a microphone on himself and recorded what she said. He had text messages. She sexted him. And then after they presented her with the evidence, uh, she made a full confession. So they had her her recorded confession of all the things that she did. So I was shocked, and I scolded myself and said, "You should have believed the victim. You should have believed the victim, whether it was a man or a woman. You should have believed the victim first." So I learned my lesson. But, the victim, sometimes people make stuff up, so the victim isn't always right. But in most cases, people aren't lying. You should always believe the victim first. And so that was sad. And obviously, I can't go back to her. There were some other things I'd rather not mention. Maybe I should. I don't know. Should I or shouldn't I? When I went to my gynecology appointment, OBGYN, they asked me point blank what my sexual orientation was. They just said, and the way they said it, they said, the nurse said, as to the sex partners you prefer male, don't you? You prefer male, don't you? And that goaded me. Because they were saying, you prefer male, don't you? And that goaded me into answering. So I said, no, I prefer female. And after that, everything went downhill. Everyone treated me differently for the rest of the session. The nurse left the room in a hurry. The doctor wouldn't check me out. All she did was talk to me. Everybody treated me differently, and I didn't get the same quality of care I would have gotten if they hadn't asked that question. I'm really thinking of suing the hospital system this hospital that it belongs to, because they think they're doing a favor to you, but they don't realize individual health providers will discriminate against you based on your answer to this question. They think they're doing you a favor, but they're not. So I thought it was very discriminatory, and I'm ready to sue them, actually. I resent them asking that question. I resent people thinking that I need to be out or that I should be out. It's just really, really, really annoying. Really annoying people thinking that I should be out. I've had some very, very, very negative experiences with being out, including being physically threatened, people calling me the F word, and calling me names and chasing me, and all sorts of bad things have happened to me, okay? So guys, I realize you have it rough, but it happens to lesbians too. It's not just you. It's not just gay guys this happens to. Okay, it can happen to lesbians too. And it has happened to me. More so than most lesbians. It's happened to me more so. And I don't know why, but it just has. I don't know if it's my karma or what, but it just has happened to me more. So it's really rough, and so basically I've been through the ringer the past couple of weeks. It's just been all the old negativity has come back again, and it's all started with having a desire. I had a desire to educate myself so I could spread the word about Goddess to the whole world. And I think to myself, today I thought to myself, people suck. People just suck. They're so mean, and they're so vicious, and they're so cruel. And I don't know anyone that's any good. Everyone sucks. And then another related thought came with that one, that everyone sucks. I thought to myself, I hate everyone. I hate everyone. I just hate hate everyone. But see, Goddess loves everyone, and this is the one thing I don't understand about her. I try to understand, okay? I try and I try and I try to understand why Goddess loves everyone. And she does. She loves everyone. But why does she love everyone? I don't know. I don't know why Goddess loves everyone. I just know that she does, but I don't know why. So Goddess is mysterious to me. I can't understand her. And I don't know why she wants to redeem fallen human beings. I don't know why she wants to reconcile people with herself. Because people are no good. People are just mean. The only people that I know that I like are a couple of my professors are okay to me so far, but I don't know if they're secretly bad people in private. And I like one of my academic advisors. I like my academic advisor. She is sincerely a nice person. But everyone else sucks in my life. Even my mom made a racist remark the other day that I'm not going to repeat because it's too bad for even a YouTube video, and it just really got me down. It really got me down. And my friend Elizabeth, when I told her about all the stuff I was going through, she didn't write me back. She had nothing to say. It wasn't until I was completely positive and just said, "How are you doing?" that she actually replied to me. And even when I was friendly to her the other day and said to her, are you interested in these classes? And I gave an example of some of the classes. I said, there's 2 or 3 classes in this, and there's 2 and 3 classes in that. No reply. She never responded to me. So Elizabeth isn't she's really my mom's friend. She's really not much of my friend at all. And she's not much of a friend to my mom either. They're not that close. So I really have no friends now. Now that I'm done with Judy, I have no friends. And my professors do not make good friends. Professors do not make good friends. They're all business. And I haven't made any new friends at school. There's some boys that are friendly, but they're not my friends. And I haven't met any girls at all. I haven't had an opportunity to meet girls because I've been stuck in with a bunch of men. And I know one Somali girl, but she we're not really friends. And I haven't really met much of anyone. I have no friends. So I haven't made any new friends yet. And my mom said, "You're never going to make friends. You think you're going to make friends with those 18 and 19-year-olds? You're never going to be friends with them. You're not going to make any friends." And she's probably right. I probably have a better chance with professors, being friends with professors, but I'm not going to be friends with them either because they're all business. So I really have no friends at this school. Maybe I can look for friends outside of the school, like write to some professors at some major universities and see if they would share some common interests with me and are willing to be pen pals. But not at this school. Not at this little community college. Nobody wants to be my friend here. So that's it. If you're feeling down and feeling bad, and I read a whole big long thing about how everyone sucks. I read all sorts of different opinions. One of them said we're all killer chimpanzees and we're all horrible. And another person said, you are the one that sucks. It's all on you. Yeah, but if I suck, if you say that to me that I suck, isn't it true about them too? I mean, it's true, isn't it? You can't just single me out and say it's always you. It's always you that sucks. You can't do that because it has to be on them also, right? It's a two-way street, right? So everyone sucks. It's not just you. It's not just you, honestly. It's not just you. It's everyone. I mean, you're not excluding yourself when you say everyone sucks. I'm not excluding myself. I'm just saying that everyone sucks, except for Goddess, of course. Goddess is awesome, but other than Goddess, everyone sucks. People suck. So don't let people get you down. If you're really lonely, and your therapist let you down because she raped someone, find another therapist and get it all off your chest. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a new therapist and get it all off my chest. And I don't know how I'm going to make friends. Both professors that were in charge of the business clubs refused to admit me. One of them didn't even reply. He didn't even bother to respond. He was like, this is not the time to write me. And he never wrote me back. He never wrote me back even once. The other professor told me that I had to have history at the school first, and that I had to have take at least 2 business classes with a certain grade point average to qualify for his group. So no opportunities to socialize so far. It's been pretty lonely. I'm feeling lonely. And I'm feeling pretty isolated. There's really no clubs or groups that I can join that I would be a member of, that I could contribute anything. I mean, there's the martial arts club and the computer club, and I really just don't fit into any of those clubs. I'm not an IT person. I'm not a martial artist. So that's it. Feeling pretty lonely. Wish I could make some friends online. The people online all suck also. They were all mean to me. They all jumped down my throat because I have said something they didn't like, and don't have any friends online at all. Don't have any friends at all. Wish I had some friends. That's the whole reason for starting a Facebook page, was to make some friends, but I haven't made any friends yet. I guess social media is not all it's cracked up to be. It's really not the place to make friends. And I haven't made any friends in person because no one wants to be friends with somebody that weighs over 200 pounds. Nobody does, unless you're 7 feet tall. Nobody wants to be your friend. That's it. Life is still sweet. Life is still sweet. I can do my homework. I've got lots and lots of homework to do. I have to read a novel, and I have to watch 7 podcasts, and I have to watch a movie and take notes, and I have to write an essay. So I have lots of work to do over spring break, and I really don't have time for friends. Even though I'm wishing, hoping, and praying for friends, I don't have any, but I wish I did. So that's where I'm at right now. Just hang in there. If you're having a rough time and you have no friends, just hang in there. And if it gets bad enough, call a suicide hotline or something like that. But don't give up, whatever you do. I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend if you want a friend. I'll be a real friend. I won't make a list of conditions. I won't go 1, 2, 3 and make a list of conditions for our friendship. See you later. Bye.